So Ann, tell us, first of all, how long you've been instructing?
I've been down here since 2003.
How did you decide to become a truck driving training instructor?
We drove for 18 years, me and my husband, and then owner-operator. He had a major heart attack. Still here with me. And we came out of the truck because he couldn't get the physical card long enough.
You driving in tandem back then?
Yeah. For those last 8 years.
Long haul?
Oh yeah, California to Washington State.
Wow.
Miss it. Miss it big time.
What was the favorite place you'd go?
Oh, I've been everywhere. I guess the time we snuck out on California Beach.
Remember what the name of the beach was?
No. South
Southern,
of 15,
northern?
in the middle, sort of little thing. And seen a sign, and we never got to stop at the beach, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. So, and it was up over a ridge, you couldn't see what's on the other side. But we took the rig on in, and it was a nice big parking lot down there, nobody was there. And got to walk the beach and enjoy the beach. Come back from the beach, there's cars everywhere. We come around the corner. We walked up to our rig. Of course, we're owner-operators, so we had it kind of jazzed up a little bit. If you know what truckers do.
I'm afraid to ask how you had it jazzed
Yeah,
up.
painted up and chromed and, you know, all that good stuff that a lot of truckers like to do with their homes. And so they were really nice. As soon as they seen us walk into the truck, they all came up and decided to ask well, first they want to see the truck and see inside the truck, and then after that, one gentleman says, "You guys need to get out of here, don't you?" I said, "Yes, we do." And they all took their cars and moved it to the side so we could flip around and get out of there.
So these were just normal, everyday people. They weren't cops.
Nah. People coming to the beach for the day down in California. It was a very nice day. It was a nice memory.
So how nice was this truck?
Well, I had my special striping and painting.
But the inside, I'm talking.
Oh, it was a walk-up sleeper where you could just walk up from it's like a great big living room.
Did you sell it?
Yeah, I had to sell it. Didn't want to, had to sell it.
Missed that too, huh?
Miss it.
Did you guys have kids?
Yeah, I have 3 sons.
How did you handle this if you were driving long haul? You got 3
Well,
sons.
our son was 18, our oldest. And then the others. Then I ended up having to get nannies and so on and so on.
Wow.
After the 18-year-olds get up. And then sometimes I would drive and he would stay home if he needed to help take care of the boys. There were 3 sons.
And did any of them become drivers?
Oh, all 3 are drivers.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was a driver. That's where I got it. My husband started driving, and then he talked me into going driving. And that's how I started driving.
But you really talked your husband into it probably because it was in your blood from your dad.
I don't know. I don't know.
So do your boys drive long haul themselves?
Most of them are in and out. They come in maybe 2 nights a week and weekends and stuff like that. So they're like Cincinnati, Indianapolis.
But not beach in California?
No, they don't do that. It's more like a team running.
Do you think all your experience you had, plus the fact that your kids do it now, you staying current with what's going on, you must have a leg up on some other instructors. You really have a good sense of the industry and how it's changed, and trucks and how they've changed.
Oh yeah, from the time I started till now.
But your dad,
Yeah.
so it's all you, and in some ways it's all you've ever known, really. Right?
Pretty much, yeah. That's how I learned to drive on the 50-acre farm with my dad's truck.
Where would that be?
That was down in Guston, Kentucky, near Brandenburg. This is where I was raised, in the country. So that's what we did. Just,
when your husband got sick, you could have just cut the cord totally from this business. What was it that made you want to be a teacher?
Well, I've trained horses all my life. I think some of that came from that. And I've taught people with the horses. And then once the truck came, and then I had people asking me to train them. Just kind of rode from there. And this place opened up, and my husband found it. He started working down here first, and then I came on down in '03.
Different kind of horsepower.
Yeah, different kind of horsepower.
What have you been riding horses since you're a little girl?
Oh yeah, I was barrel racing at 7.
What racing?
Barrel racing.
Oh, barrel.
Barrel racing. Rodeo. Yeah, 7.
When did you stop doing that?
When I met my husband, he was in the service, and then we went out to the service for a few years, Germany and different states we were at. And then when he got out of the service is when he started trucking. I went back into the medical field and didn't quite like that, so he kind of talked me into coming on out with him and driving.
You miss being around horses?
No, I got 18 at home.
You have 18 horses?
Oh yeah, 18.
What do you do with them?
Well, the quarter horses you ride. The miniatures I show with my grandchildren. I have 3 granddaughters that love to go.
And you got a state fair going on right now.
Yep, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. The Broadbent, yes. That's going to be a long haul. I'll be glad when Sunday morning at 2 o'clock in the morning hits.
So you can't even teach this whole class the way through because it coincides with the fair.
Right. I'm usually off on Thursday, so I'm having to take Wednesday and Friday out this week.
So I guess I found out what you do for fun, huh?
That's what I do for fun, I guess. I love it.
So 13 years, if I'm doing the math right, on how long you've been here. Yeah, 2003, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have the students changed much over time?
No. Actually, I see faces, and they look like students I've already had before. I don't know how to describe it. I've seen so many, and you'd be surprised how many people look like other people.
But in terms of their qualifications or how easy they are to pick up things, is it different than when you started?
No, it's always been pretty much what it was. The CDL, but that was before the school opened. From when I started driving until the CDL.
But when you
came
started
in.
teaching, they're similar because when you started teaching, the economy was kind of booming. Then we went through the recession.
Oh yeah, we went
and
through.
And now
a
we're
time.
coming out of it a little bit. It really hasn't changed much in terms of whether they respect you, how quickly they learn. As they get younger, none of them have ever driven a clutch. I just wonder how different it is.
No, they're all a little nervous, but it don't take them but a few days to come out of that. They start settling. The only ones that I really have a problem with or ever had is the ones who are need to a little better English, and those are the ones that we have to really push and pull and help get along and get through this. And they don't always make it, but they're trying.
There are a couple in this class who have either siblings or parents or grandparents who've driven. Does that make a difference? Do you think it makes it easier for them, or it doesn't really matter?
Nah, it doesn't matter. A lot of them with children, it might matter because they don't get home maybe enough, they think. But one thing I have noticed a change is when we first started the school, local jobs would be hard for a student to find. Well, all of a sudden, we get calls all the time, local companies looking for local drivers. Now that's changed a lot. That started about 2 years ago. They were taking trained students right out of school. Now that's something that's changed, which helps these guys, especially the ones with the children.
Any idea why?
The hurting for truck drivers. The need is so much. It used to be they'd go out for the road, and then someone who has small children would come back in, and then they do local after they got a year or two under their belts. And now it's getting where, like River City came in, and they're local. And I think in our last class, I think we got 2 going to them that have children, so they can be home.
And I asked it badly. What I meant before was people who have had somebody in the family who've been a truck driver. Are they further ahead starting out because they know what to expect?
Yes. Like we've got some in the classroom that's got a B class. Well, that's going to help them with size.
Right.
They're not going to be so intimidated on the size and the width. Now they just got to learn they're pulling that trailer behind them. Remember that they're pulling that trailer behind them.
But there's also, like if your dad or your grandfather did it, you understand the lifestyle a little more about somebody being away.
I'm going to say it. The easier ones that I've had and experienced to train are the country boys. The ones who's drove on the farms, that's pulled the wagons and drove the tractors and things like that. They seem to catch on and do well so quick and so easy. Makes my job easy.
And I don't want to date you, What was the first year that you actually started driving professionally?
80, when did we get out of service?
Sometime in the 80s.
Yeah, yes.
So before the internet, before cell phones.
Oh yeah, we didn't have.
So staying in touch with people back home was a lot harder
No.
back then.
You had to stop at the rest areas or truck stop and get a phone, and you had to have a phone card then, and or to charge.
So it's a lot easier now for these people.
Oh, gosh, yes,
So
to
with
stay
what
in
they're going
touch.
into versus what you were going into back then.
A lot of them even have the Skype, where they can
Skyping.
Skype their family. at
And
home.
you can have it, they can mail you a DVD, you can see your family, what they're doing, and,
Oh yeah,
you know, now,
it's a lot
it's not,
different.
it's a lot easier maybe. Isn't it?
Yeah, back there. Oh gosh, yes, a lot easier.
What's the biggest lesson you can, I know you show them the videos and you talk about your experience, but in terms of a lesson in life to become a truck driver, what's the biggest thing you think you impart to these students?
I hope safety. I strive on safety. Usually at the end of it, it's, you know, when you leave here, you know you're a driver. To watch the other person, and just remember, you know, it's not a car. You got to remember you're sitting inside a rig. It's not a car. You got to stop sooner. You got to look sooner. To me, that's the most important thing. I can push them out there. I mean, I help them with all the parts on the truck and all this kind of stuff before they get out there, but it's once they're out there on the road, safety, and just don't become complacent. If there's points after you drive for a little bit, you'll find yourself going down the highway not realizing you're going that fast. I tell them to pay attention to it. You got cruise control, use it.
You gonna ask them to come see your horses this weekend?
Oh yeah, yeah. I put out and told them if they're out that way this weekend, I'd say hi.
Do you ever get former students coming back to say hi?
Oh yes, they pop in and out all the time, come back
Does that
in and
make
say
you
hi.
feel good?
Oh yeah, yeah. They're doing well. Yeah.
And you're
Like
gonna
that.
do this forever?
Well, as long as I can.
I'm gonna have to be a non-gentleman here for a second. Can I
Okay.
ask you how old you are?
No.
Okay, had to ask. All right, thank you, Ann. Appreciate it.